Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Saturday. It's such a lovely, lovely Saturday morning already, and I know it's dark outside, and I know it's early, but you have to call things that be not as though they were. And so, not that it's not going to be a beautiful day, you just don't see it yet. And so, it's early. It is, it's about 5:30 in the morning, and it's such a lovely morning already. I see it for me, anyways. And so I just wanted to give a word of encouragement, a very short, brief word of encouragement to anyone that is in the process of waiting on God, in the process of just you can see all of the things that the Lord has promised you because He's shown it to you. So you can see these things. You can see them clear. You almost like you're there with them already. You can feel the promises of God every time you think about it, every time you're inspired by them. And so this is just a little word of encouragement for anyone who is who's in the process of waiting for God to make good on His promises. I've been there myself, and I still am. I mean, everything that the Lord has promised me has not come into my life yet, but I know that it's in the process. And sometimes, if you open up your eyes and you really allow the Lord to show you, you will see Him taking you through the process of the thing manifesting. So whatever it is, sometimes it takes time. It takes a process of something that you have to go through, just like a food product or a meal. If you go to a restaurant, that meal, right? So you have to wait on that meal, and the meal is coming, but the meal has to be prepared. And so they're in the back, they're preparing this meal, they're putting all of the ingredients in there, they're making it good for you, they're putting their all into this meal to bring it to the table so that you can enjoy it. And so you just have to wait on it. And so what are you doing in the process of waiting on that thing that the Lord has promised you, or those things that the Lord has promised you? And so just wanted to kind of say, first of all, just allow God to open up your eyes. Sometimes when you're in the process of waiting for things to happen that are in the process of happening, right? They're going to happen. But sometimes in the process of waiting for them, you can get discouraged. And the thing you have to be mindful of is being so focused on what you're waiting on, instead of allowing the Lord to show you, the processes that you're going through for this thing to come about. And instead of letting the Lord show you what's already occurring in your life that you should be focusing on, right? So that's kind of the thing is what exactly could you be doing, in the process of waiting? And so let's think about it. You're sitting at the table, you're getting ready to dine out, you're waiting for them to bring your food. What do you do in the process of waiting, right? What do you do? Some people grab their phone and search social media, right? But to make the best use of that time would be to make the use of the time with the people around you, for example. So, instead of, if you're with someone, instead of going down and looking at your phone, it's a perfect opportunity to get to know that person and to talk to that person and to see how that person is doing, or to minister to that person if they need it, or to encourage that person if they need it, right? And so you have to look at your opportunities, and then the fact that you are blessed to be in the presence of that person, so that you can spend time with them. So that's one of the things that you kind of have to look at is what can I be doing in this time? You could waste time, or you could make the best use of your time. And so in Ephesians 5:15-16, it says, "Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil." So you have to make the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. And so when you don't make the most of the opportunity, what will happen is you can become idle. And then discouragement comes, and we know that the enemy prowls around like a roaring lion looking to see who he may devour, right? And so idleness, I believe, brings evilness. And I'm not just saying it because the word says because the days are evil, so make the use of every opportunity. I'm saying, from example, from my own self, waiting earlier last year, just waiting days seemed like weeks seemed like months. And I had gotten so discouraged that I genuinely, when the Lord was telling me to plan, when He told me to pack, my clothes, pack my home because I was moving. When he told me to do those things, I did it, but I did it to this bare minimum. I mean, I packed, but I packed grudgingly. That's how I packed. I packed thinking, Lord, I don't know where I'm going. Where am I going? Why am I packing, right? Although the Lord did tell me a move is coming, So instead of me focusing on the fact that he did say a move is coming and to be excited about that and to pack, being excited about what I'm waiting for, instead of me doing that, I was so discouraged thinking, what am I packing for? I don't even know where I'm going. I mean, I'm not moving right now. I can't see me moving right now, right? So that kind of thing. So how are you waiting? So I wanted to pull up the scripture, Hebrews 7 and 13. I'll start at 13. But it says, when God made his promise to Abraham, since there was no one greater for him to swear by, he swore by himself, saying, I will surely bless you and give you many descendants. Just the word surely, and I'm reading from the NIV version, but just the word surely, he's saying most certainly, like you don't have to question whether or not I'm going to come through on this promise, because it's going to happen. As a matter of fact, it's going to happen no matter what you've done or how you've done it or whatever the case may be. This promise is going to happen. And so some of God's promises are sure. They're so sure. And so you have to be mindful of that, and you have to have faith in the fact that it's sure. He's told you this thing is going to happen. You have to be sure of it. And I know it's hard. It was even hard for Abraham. It was so hard for him. It was hard for his wife that it just didn't. I mean, and I'm here now, right? I'm in their place right now. I'm thinking, Lord, this thing just does not seem to be a thing that's going to happen. I mean, like, I don't see anything. I don't see anything. I mean, nothing says that this promise is going to happen. Nothing. And so I have to think back to other things in the past to say, man, I was in that situation and it didn't seem like it either, but it was the the Lord did bring through the promise. Back then it didn't seem like the Lord was going to come through for me, even though he promised me that he wouldn't let me fall. It didn't seem like he was going to come through for me. And then here it is months later, and he's like come through like that, right? So his promises are sure. Surely he will bless you with that promise that he's promised you. The other, in verse 15, it says, and so after waiting patiently, Abraham received what was promised. And so Abraham, it's interesting that it says that he waited patiently, even though, him and Sarah, did what they did and had a child outside of the promise of God, taking matters into their own hands. And we've heard of that story countless times. But the reality of it is we need to hear that story over and over and over again as encouragement when we are in the process of waiting. Because sometimes, like I said, days can feel like weeks and weeks can feel like months and months can feel like years, right? Years, let's not even talk about years, because years can feel like decades, okay? A year can feel like a decade. So anyways, so after waiting patiently, so I guess what I wanted to say is just going back to Ephesians 5 and 15 and 16, where it says, making the most of every opportunity. There's another version. It says, look carefully then how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the best use of the time, because the days are evil. So you want to make the best use of your time in this process of waiting. So one of the things that the Lord told me is he said, you could be doing countless other things while you're waiting on this one thing. So what else can you be doing in this process while you're waiting for all of these other things, or for just that one thing that you want so badly, that you want so much, that the Lord has promised you, and that he's promised it to you. That it's yours, right? But you haven't received it yet. And that one thing that you want so bad, what can you do in the process? What can you be doing right now? Well, look at this. What else has the Lord blessed you with? What else has he blessed you with? Has he blessed you with family? Has he blessed you with some friends that are supposed to be in your life, right? spend time with them, do some things with them. Is there other work that the Lord has called for you to do? Do you have a business? Is there anything else? Are you in school? What else can you focus on right now? What else can you focus on right now? And you know what I found out is that if you focus on those other things and you do the other things that the Lord has called you to do, and you focus on all the other great things that the Lord is doing in your life, before you know it, you have passed the time. And when the time has passed, the promise is in your face. And so what I'm doing right now is speaking not only to you, but I am speaking to myself as well. Okay? So what else can you do in the process? Don't let yourself become idle. Because when you become idle, the days are evil. And the enemy really is looking for people who are idle. And when you are idle, all kinds of things can run through your mind. All kinds of foolishness can run through your mind. And then before you know it, you're seeing, especially if you're being idle on social media, you'll see all kinds of things that will jump out at you. And some things you won't even realize are affecting you will start to affect you. And then before you know it, you'll start comparing yourself because you're dissatisfied in your life, because you're not even so much as in your life. It's just that you're blinded. You're dissatisfied because this one promise hasn't come about, right? It hasn't come about the way that you wanted to, or it hasn't come about at all just yet. And so, or you'll find yourself getting involved in things that are meaningless. And you don't want to get caught up in things that are meaningless. You don't want to get caught up in drama and other people's drama. You don't want to get caught up and get weighed down by heavy things of life. You want to try to be and pack as light as you possibly can. And I kind of went off for a moment, but but you want to be able to pack as light as you can. You want to be able to focus on the things that are going on in your life, that are great, that are beautiful. The people that are in your life, that are supposed to be in your life. Those things you want to focus on in the process of waiting. But do not allow yourself to become idle, because idleness breeds discouragement. Discouragement will tear down, will begin to chip away at your faith. And then before you know it, you've come to the place of unbelief. A hard-heartedness, if you will, an unbelief that the Lord won't do it for you. There's no way. I just don't see this happening. He's not going to do it for me. And then you'll get this hard-heartedness, and this hard-heartedness, this apathy, this discouragement and unbelief. All of it begins to breed resentment. And then you begin to resent God, and then you have an open door for all other thoughts to come in that will have you questioning God in your life. So you have to be very, very careful about idleness and about paying attention to what's not in your life versus paying attention to what is in your life. So I encourage you today to really focus on what it is that God is doing in your life right now, what you are working on right now, what you can be doing right now, right? What can you do to pass this time productively, making use of every opportunity while you wait for the promise. And just like Abraham, wait patiently for the promise. But don't be like Abraham and jump ahead and make things happen in your own strength. And you will know if it's in your own strength. Amen. So I just want to give you that encouragement that if the Lord has promised it to you, it is sure. It is sure to come. And again, I'm talking to myself, right? Because it can be tough waiting on things to come to pass that you know are supposed to, but you just don't see how it's going to happen. So with that being said, I just pray that you receive this message, and I pray that it helps you to just wait on the Lord. And I thank you for listening and just tuning in, and just want to pour in and pour out into people. I'm getting my strength back and everything, and so I'm really ready to start pouring back into people and pouring back into these videos. Aside from that, I do want you, I don't know who's watching this video or who will see it, but there's an upcoming event. So March 8th through the 15th, I will be in, me and someone else, but we will be in Uganda. So I'm really, really, really excited and in much need to go to the nations. It's like Uganda has been calling me. The nations seems like it's always calling me, and I'm always ready to go. I just can't go as much as I'd like to go. And so we will be in Uganda in March. So maybe about 5 weeks away, almost a month away. So not that long, right? And so we'll be there for about a week. We'll be having a conference there. It's going to be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. So you can see the flyer on my page, or you can see it on the website, rossministries.org. And if you are in Uganda, I hope you can make it. We'll be in, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Kampala. So we'll be there in that area, not far from the airport, but it's going to be an amazing trip, and I'm looking forward to it, and I've been looking forward to it since the middle of last year. And so yeah, Uganda's going to be awesome. And so when we have more events, I'll be sure to let you know. But in the meantime, if you are available to attend that would be great. If not, we are going to try to stream it. And so if we can stream it, then you can watch online, and that will be a blessing as well. So anyways, enjoy this wonderful Saturday. Enjoy this spring-like weather. I don't care if it's 25, it's spring-like compared to last week. So enjoy it. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your time with those that are close to you. And I love you dearly, and I will talk to you later. Take care. Bye.